Happy Taco Tuesday! Today I'm taking some simple leftover pork and turning it into the best Taco Tuesday ever. I start by prepping all my fresh toppings, and honestly, this is one of my favorite parts. I begin by chopping onions. I like cutting them a little bit small so they add a nice crunch without being too strong. Then I move on to the scallions. I didn't have cilantro today, but scallions work perfectly because they bring that fresh, bright flavor that balances the richness of the pork. And of course, I chop some tomatoes too. They add juiciness, a little sweetness, and that pop of color that makes tacos look so good. One thing I love about this topping mix is how simple it is. You don't need anything fancy, just fresh vegetables that you probably already have at home. And even without cilantro, the scallions do such a good job adding that freshness. So if you ever run out of cilantro, trust me, scallions are a great substitute. Once my veggies are ready, I move on to the star of the show, the pork. Since I'm using leftover pork, the goal is to warm it up without drying it out. So instead of frying it or trying to cook it too fast, I place it in a pot and warm it gently. Letting it heat slowly keeps it tender and allows the flavors to come back to life. If you want to add a little something extra, you can sprinkle in some cumin, garlic powder, chili powder, or even add a tiny splash of broth. But honestly, leftover pork already has great flavor most of the time, so I usually keep things simple. I just let it warm slowly until it becomes juicy and ready for the tacos. While the pork is warming, I heat up my tortillas. This step is quick but so important. A warm tortilla makes such a big difference. It becomes softer, more flexible, and the flavor improves instantly. I warm each side just until it gets a little bit of color and maybe a tiny puff. It only takes a few seconds, but it makes the tacos taste so much better. Now everything is ready, and it's time to put the tacos together. I start by adding a nice amount of pork to the tortilla. I spread it out so every bite has a good mix of meat. The pork is warm, tender, and full of flavor. Then I add the chopped onions, the scallions, and the tomatoes. This combination is so simple, but it brings everything the taco needs: crunch, freshness, color, and that bright flavor that balances the richness of the meat. Even without cilantro, it tastes amazing. The scallions really do the job. To finish, I add a little squeeze of lime juice. That touch of acidity just wakes up all the flavors. You can add salsa if you like. I don't put salsa on mine. What I love about this recipe is that it all comes from leftovers. It's such a good reminder that leftover food doesn't have to be boring. With just a few fresh ingredients and a couple of minutes, you can turn leftover pork into a meal that feels fresh, exciting, and perfect for Taco Tuesday. So if you ever have leftover pork sitting in your fridge, don't let it go to waste. Turn it into tacos. It's quick, it's delicious, and it's one of the easiest weeknight meals you can make. Thank you for watching, and I hope this inspires your next Taco Tuesday.